Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. There are some things that might change the course of entire market, and we need to take a look at that, and we need to be prepared according to that. In order to beat the market, we need to think not like the ones that panic, but like the ones that they seed all the probabilities and act according to that. Now, the market doesn't care about how you feel. It does what it needs to do in order to make a structure and in order to liquidate certain people, which it always does, mostly futures traders. But it also will make your gains go back to the way it was or take you into losses if you're not fully prepared and if you're not taking profits on time and if you just leave it to the luck, then don't expect anything good to happen. Now, let's take a look at all sorts of things that can change the course of the entire market. So, as we talked yesterday, we were waiting for this candle to confirm if it's going to go up or down. Now, if you see, we have an engulfing candle properly formed above this line of resistance on BTC dominance chart. So, as you know, if you're a beginner, let me tell you again that BTC dominance represents Bitcoin's total market cap against all the other coins in the entire market. Okay, so right now it's at 58.97%. We had a great fall from this level, which was 60%, and it was a support level for a very, very long time. Now, what it did was it did a proper breakout and retest, then it fell from there. Now, after reaching to this 57 level that I have talked a lot about, and we took a lot of profits, now it's trying to creep up again. So, this was the long term idea that if we had to come up here and break here, it would form this. But now, as we're seeing, it's not going according to how we wanted, and it's now turning back and it's going to go and test this 60%. But a lot of things, including Ethereum and so many other altcoins, have lost a lot of gains, and potentially they're looking for even further dump if Bitcoin dominance stays like this and if it goes and reaches this level. Now, let's go and take a look at those. Now, this has confirmed, right? That has already given us an engulfing and it's retesting to go up. So it means that today and the upcoming days, until the end of the month at least, we can expect that the market will keep dumping. Let's go first see US dollar, how that is doing. You can see that it's forming a proper trend line here that we need to reach to, which it hasn't yet. It just reached the smaller resistance here and it stopped there, but it doesn't mean that it has reached this, what is it, this trend line. Now, we need to come to this trend line. It's not only a resistance level, but it's also a level of supply that we're looking at. And once it reaches here, we can expect US dollar to start again and start falling down again against all the other currencies. Now, that is about to reach the supply level. On the other hand, US dollar against Canadian dollar is also reaching this level of resistance, which it is a very long resistance and it was broken. Even this trend line was broken, but you can see that still very, very strong. A lot of things are happening in the world, but we're not gonna confuse ourselves with those because they're always unpredictable, the news and all. But what is probably right always is the market and the way it forms a structure and the places people trade. Now, if we see USDT dominance, it is also reaching this level of supply. Unfortunately, it couldn't get rejected properly from this resistance which it did for a while, for like at least 2 days. Then after that, it had a proper breakout and it reached to this level of supply. So this is not a resistance, it is a supply. The difference I have talked about in the course, but we're not gonna go through it here. The people that they know technical analysis, so this is advanced technical analysis. If you're a beginner, you can start by studying through our membership inside Halal Portfolio. But this is for everybody that they already know and for the students of Halal Portfolio. So please do your own diligence, do your own research. Don't rely on whatever I say. Everybody can be right and everybody can be wrong. You need to do your own research in order to find out what is good for you. Okay? So you can see that we have a level of supply here, which we need to get rejected from. Otherwise, we will be looking at this resistance that it can go to, and it will be really bad for the entire market. How could that happen, and how it would take us there? So if you see, we have after this not getting rejected, it shows us that there was a lot of demand. So this is the USDT chart, USDT dominance. It shows a lot of demand for USDT, which obviously when people sell their crypto, it comes to this chart keeps going up. So take a look at this engulfing. It's a very big engulfing and a proper one. If it retests here, then it can or cannot reject it, but it will make things really, really bad for a short period of time. What we need is not to come up back to this level to gain momentum. It needs to come here and properly get rejected and fall below this in order to be back bullish again. And what it means for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'll show you quickly that which levels needs to be regained in order for us to go up. Otherwise, it will be really difficult. So if you haven't taken profits when USDT was at these levels, then don't expect anything, because if you see, we had a proper breakout of this trend line and it can take it back to these highs. And what it means for crypto, it means the bull market is over. But we still need to be very careful, and we need to see that there is a level here, and in order for us to go up, this needs to come back to this level or lower, then make a higher low, so it can go up. Then it will invalidate here, even here, all of them. It will really go up higher if we get this higher low at this chart. But let's see what is going to happen by the start of October. So things are not looking good. You need to be looking at everything. But as you know, if you're not attached to what your money is going to do, if you have already taken enough profit, and you always be careful with what you're trading and with your long-term investment on one hand and your short-term investments on the other hand, you shouldn't be worried at all, because we always look for the opportunities at this point when the market comes down. So on the other hand, we have this chart, which is the total market cap of crypto, including Bitcoin. Now, if you see, we had a good resistance that was broken, properly retested, went and made a high here and made a low here. Then it tried to make a high, but it broke the trend line and it came back to the support level. Now, what does it mean for us? It means that as long as it stays above this, there is a chance for us to go up. What it means for USDT, that's level that we need to be rejected from properly, and it needs to be bought back properly. And what it can mean for the total, it means that even if we are coming back to these levels of support, we can still go even a little bit down, like it always does, like these wicks. If you see, it always is formed below these levels of support. You can see this. So what can happen here if we extend our line? We can have something like this forming right here, panicking everybody, even people with a lot of money, and even while they're disciplined enough, we need to have our mind set at its point. What it can mean for USDT is something like this. A fake out here would be great, and the same for this. So this is the level that it will really, really put everybody under pressure that, okay, it's over. We are in a bear market. But then a V-shaped recovery would be expected in order to go up again. So we need to expect something like a V here. Even if it falls below some percentage, we need to regain back this level. All right. Then we can say, okay, the market is still bullish. Because if Bitcoin falls, then don't expect anything to uh, keep up and start going up. Bitcoin leads the market. Everybody knows. You should also know if you're a beginner. Now, this would be expected if there is a dump and if there's a proper breakout. This would be expected for Ethereum and for all the other cryptos. Same for this chart. It has taken out this trend line, and it will keep falling down and bring us to this longer trend line that, if you see, we're holding. So a lot of these altcoins are going to make you crazy, trust me. Anyway, let's see what is there for Bitcoin. Okay, now we're in the Bitcoin chart. Let me show you in a clearer chart again. This one that I always look into. So if you remember, we had a $107,000 level, which I told you even from here, before it reaches here, I told you it will go down here. The same thing, when we reached here, we needed to take this level back, which it didn't. I said it's over, because I have seen these structures like 1,000 times forming in different time frames and different charts. It's very obvious when we try to go down and form like a lower structure and the market is exhausted by its performance, and it reaches a level of supply and the resistance zone, then it would fall back to the level of support. So here you can see that we have this level of support at 107,566. So there's also a smaller support, which is here, which could mean the fake out that I told you in the total. It could mean the same to happen here. You can see it has already a lot happened in Bitcoin as well, that below support we get this fake out that everybody that they have their stop losses here, they will all be taken out. So it's quite possible that Bitcoin would do something like this, goes to 105,000, then this is the level you need to be looking at. But if we don't form a recovery, V-shaped recovery here, and we again get rejected from 107 or $110,000, that's where you should really be careful and get out of the market, because it can go to these lower levels, even maybe around, I don't know, this is a uh, longer perspective, but I'm not going to talk about it now. So what to expect? You can see we had that V-shaped recovery here. We had that V-shaped recovery here. When it reached this level of resistance, you can see that the demand was so much that it broke this resistance and we went and formed a new high. Then it came back to this level. Then we tried to form a new high. Now when it didn't make this high, what it can do is go and make a low, which is obviously lower than this, and it would take us back to this level of resistance, which is 105,500. Okay, this is this is what you should be expecting in worst case, just in case this level is broken, because I haven't seen any proper bounce from the market yet, and with a candle like this it is not possible to do it in one day. It takes few days for this to turn back to bullish, and this mid range, which is $112,000, which we were not supposed to lose, we will regain back, then we're good again. Okay, so this is what you should be looking at, and if you want to place your orders, you can, and then you should be looking for this resistance. Once we go up, you need to take a look at that. Let me clean some things here so the chart is clear. We made our point. Now we should clean things. Okay. Okay. So let's clean this one as well. Doesn't really matter. Now, if you want to trade this level and you want to see if the market after this bounce V-shaped recovery, it should come like this and it should go and break this. It should be that good of a V-shaped recovery. It should not turn like this. Trust me, you don't want that to happen and the level of $112,000, because it will lead to 98, then later to 90, which is quite possible. There's a lot of liquidations sitting here. I checked with Glassnode. So this is how the market is currently looking. So still, as long as we are above this level, like this entire level, we are still in what? In the bull trend or in the uptrend. We need to expect for the market to go even higher. Okay. Okay, we saw that. This is for the trades that we do, so we're not gonna take a look at that. It doesn't mean anything right now. Let's take a look at Ethereum. First, let's take a look at this chart of Ethereum, because this is what I have recently talked to you about, which we are seeing it trying to bounce, but this bounce is only valid if after 2 days, 15 hours, it really comes and closes above this. The same way when I was talking about this total and total 2, that it needs to come up higher. Ethereum needs to do that, otherwise we will have a significant fall, which in total 2 it shows like this, a 10% fall, but in Ethereum chart, how much would that be? A 12% fall. So be very careful. This is also a level of support. If you see it from this perspective, we are where? We are right at the place that it needs to be bought. So still nothing to worry that much, but once this is broken and retested with something like this, you would get out of the market, because sell pressure will be so much that we can maybe come to this level, then have a bounce. Everyone would think, oh, we're going back like so, but the market could come, because once a trend is broken, don't expect it to really give you another what another trend forming from falling this much, because the sell pressure keeps building up, unless this should, like this, after we fall from this level, these two levels, they both should be taken back, then we can expect for the market to go up higher from these levels. Otherwise, don't expect anything. Okay, So what it can do after the break of this, it can come here, it can then come here, then it can fall, then this would indicate it's all over. Your bull market, your alt season, everything is over. Trust me. This is what I have been telling you all the time. Learn market structure and keep practicing as much as you can on the market structure so you know that it is possible. Okay, this is ETH BTC, so you can see that this is also right at the point that it can also get taken out. So this I have already mentioned, nothing has changed. This would indicate that 10%, 10 to 12% fall in Ethereum. What will happen to Solana? Back to 155 to 150 dollar. Why? Why? Because this is the level that we bought and we went up until here, then we took profits in these levels, then we bought back these levels and we went to these levels. Now if this trend is broken, where can it go? As come back to first this level, which is the mid-range, but more likely it will come back to this level, and there's a lot of liquidations that going to be triggered even below this. So very bad for Solana. What would turn Solana back to bullish is if we come and reclaim this 200 and $210 level which we recently bought. So this candle that we bought here, this needs to be reclaimed in order for us to go up again. Solana BTC is also reaching this level of support. One is broken, one is left in order for it to outperform against BTC. Now, for the short term, and for this to really perform well, it needs to take this candle back and close above these levels that I just mentioned you. So it needs to come and close above this line that we have. I'm making things really, really simple for you guys, but what is scary. What needs to happen, it will happen in the market. We can't avoid it, right? What we can do is take a lot of profits when it gives us. That's all we can do. And place ourselves in the positions that the market is at its lowest. So you know that we have been buying since I missed this one, okay? I wasn't there at that day, but since 120, since here, I kept buying, then I took profits here, then bought these levels, then took the ride until here, then bought back. Like, it is a formation of the market, all these waves. That's how I was able to get out here. No bragging, no lies. That's how the market does, right? If you've been following this channel for a long period of time, then you would know where I take profit. For example, look at Dogecoin. I didn't know it would go this much higher. But I did know since here that we would go to here, then to here. So I took profits a little bit here, a lot more than that here, which I could have taken even more when it gave me, but I stick to my plan, right? Then I didn't, then it fell down, then I bought here, but then again, it's how my life is right now. Then I didn't take profits here, then you see what happened. So this happens when you don't take profit. But it's fine because I have traded all the way here. That's how the market is, and that's how we should really, really see it, and we should allocate ourselves nicely like that. Then again, I bought a little bit here, which is fine. what would be my exit plan for Doge? Doge at the moment has broken all these two levels, and it has reached back to the level of demand that I first tried buying, like quite a lot, and it was the number one coin in my portfolio, and it certainly performed against all the other majors that you see here. Well, now it is reaching back to this level. I will try buying this again because we're going to go up. But if this is broken and it comes and forms a something like this, then I would certainly get out because we would go really, really down. But overall, as long as you see, we are almost in the end of all this nonsense that is happening in the market. You can see that breaking of these trends will put a lot of people in doubt that, okay, maybe I was wrong, maybe I shouldn't have bought, maybe I should just get out and wait for the market uh, to do what? It already has lost all its gains. And what I can see is the wave should go back up, but it can come to this level of demand. Then it will go up, inshallah. Same BTC, Doge BTC is indicating that we're still good. Doge Ethereum, we're still good. Gold against BTC reached the level of supply. We should expecting it to not perform against Bitcoin anymore, or maybe perform very slowly. It has reached another high, which was 3,779. And yeah, you can see gold reaching against Bitcoin at a supply, US dollar reaching this level of supply against every other currency. Ethereum is at demand. BTC has reached its demand. BTC dominance, however, is trying to go up. That's why I told you we can see a potential, probably a fake out here, then a V-shaped recovery, which is quite possible, or maybe just start going up from here. So that's what you can look at. And unless this previous candle is taken out, we cannot expect a good performance in the market. So right now the challenge for Bitcoin is to come and take this level out. Otherwise it can do something like this, then come take this level out, then we're back. Then we're really, really back. It will go back to this even higher and reach this level. I can say it with confidence, but we need to first stop going down from this level and even the other one that I showed you here, which is a possible fake out to $105,000 level, which was demand. And if you remember what happened at that time was, this was at the time that Israel and Iran was in conflict and they were bombing each other. Then what happened was it had a dump, then it had a proper recovery, and this is what we got in the market. Excuse my internet connection that is lost. Should be connecting back. Okay, it's back. Okay, that's all for now. For the long term, market is good, but for the short term, I told you what could happen. We're still above this support and demand level on Bitcoin, which is a great thing. But Bitcoin dominance is obviously showing a lot of strength. It could mean two things. One, altcoins will not perform very, very well, or the altcoins will keep dumping against Bitcoin. Bitcoin still could keep coming down while Bitcoin dominance will keep going up. It means that altcoins will lose a lot of their gains. So certainly, we might see this happening, which I previously told you, a fake out, below $3.62 trillion in the market cap of total. That's all. Be prepared if you see this level, if it's confirmed, and inshallah we will do another analysis on that day if we something like this. Otherwise, if the market goes up from here as well, which is a still good, a plus for us, we will not lose our gains, then we will cover all of them in the next videos, inshallah. So if you enjoyed, like the video so it reaches to more Muslims so they can also benefit from our technical analysis, as well as if you're a beginner, you can join Halal Portfolio. I will see you inshallah in the next video. Have a good day.